Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
It's just not summer for me without a trip to the blueberry patch. I've got my bucket and I'm primed for picking. So come along for the ride as I go in search of ripe, juicy, luscious blueberries. It's what's cooking next in Flavor NC.
Flavor NC was made possible by Got to Be NC Agriculture, the official state identity program for products grown and processed by farmers and value-added food companies in North Carolina. When you want the best, it's got to be NC. The Currituck County Department of Travel and Tourism. The Currituck County Outer Banks. More value, more excitement, more than you imagined. Additional support was provided by the following.
There's no Main Street, no zip code, and you won't find it on a map. But our place is just as real as every mouth-watering morsel grown, raised, or harvested in North Carolina. Welcome to Flavor NC, the heart and soul of local food. Whether they're baked in a muffin, folded into bread, or just eaten by the handful, blueberries are one of the most popular and best for you fruits around. These little guys are packed with antioxidants, fiber, and vitamins A and C. Studies show that blueberries can help prevent cancer, diabetes, and even age-related memory changes, hence the nickname brainberries. It's no wonder blueberries make the list of superfoods. North Carolina ranks 6th in U.S. blueberry production. They're grown from the mountains to the coast, and some of my favorites come from a farm near Benson in Johnston County. Sitting where the rolling Piedmont gives way to the coastal plain, Benson is one of those great little Tar Heel towns that grew up around the railroad. In the 1880s, a man named Alfred Benson began selling off pieces of the property he owned along the Smithfield-Fayetteville Road, and when the railroad passed through in 1886, the town of Benson was born. Benson sits at the intersection of I-95 and I-40, so lots of folks pass through the town every year as they travel along the interstate. But to my mind, they're really missing out if they don't hop off the highway and visit for a while in this charming community. I've come to Benson not to sample the country cooking at Miss Mauld's Cafe, but to sample the blueberries at Smith's Nursery just outside of town. I love it when blueberry season rolls around every year, and one of the things I love best is I get the chance to visit one of North Carolina's pick-your-own blueberry patches. And guess what? Smith's Nursery just happens to have one. And that's not all Smith's has either. The 50-acre farm in Johnston County has been in the family for 3 generations. For the last 20 years, the Smith family has operated a wholesale nursery and produce farm. This is a diversified operation where pick-your-own blueberry, blackberry, strawberry, and pumpkin fields share pride of place with acres of landscape plants just waiting to head to your local nursery. Once the strawberries are finished, cantaloupes go in, so there's always something good to eat growing at Smith's. There's a pond where you can feed the fish, another where you can try to catch one, and plenty of room in the Purple Martin houses for new arrivals. Sarah Smith runs the farm with her husband Myron and their kids. Sarah, I'm amazed at how diversified your farm is, and I know one of the things you do is agritourism. How important is that in your farm life?
Well, the agritourism has helped us survive. We started out with our wholesale nursery business. We started a few strawberries, and from that we brought our garden center in. We started with field trips for the strawberries. We do CSA boxes. the produce stand.
Right, you have the roadside stand. So it's really all of those components together help maintain your farm throughout the year.
It does. It does.
And does it change over seasonally?
It does. Whatever is going on that season, we can incorporate in what we do. In the spring, it's strawberries. In the summer, it's blueberries. In the fall, we do pumpkins and a millet maize. We do hay rides through the farm. It's not such a big farm, but you can find a lot to do.
A lot of different things going on at one time. I've got you. And then the kids and the tell their parents about coming on the field
Exactly.
trip, and then they'll stop by and see your roadside stand or pick some strawberries or blueberries.
Exactly. If the kids come and have a good time on their field trip, they're going to bring their parents back and they're going to do everything around again.
Right. And this is a family operation.
Yes, ma'am.
That's always important.
It is. It is.
A key component of the operation here at Smith's is the roadside vegetable stand. It's part of the state's certified roadside market program. It's a program designed to help farmers promote their roadside stands and help them sell direct to the public. To be a part of the program, the majority of the fruits and vegetables sold at the market have to be grown right here at Smith's. Sarah, I love your roadside stand. It is so cute, and I personally love shopping at a roadside stand. Tell me the importance to you as far as having this roadside stand and getting to know your customers.
Well, this brings part of what we do in here, and it's a service to our community, I think. We get to know our customers. We get a lot of repeat customers. For example, we had a lady that was pregnant, and she came several times a week to pick strawberries and get fresh vegetables and produce and plants, and we couldn't wait to see when she had her baby, and then we knew when she didn't come for a while that we'd see the baby shortly.
That's
and
right.
We did.
And
she came back with her baby.
Oh.
So that was really neat.
So
you get to know people, and you get to know the other farmers. We don't grow all the produce we sell here. It's grown locally.
Okay.
But
so you're working with the other farmers and buying from them.
That's right.
And then selling here at your roadside stand.
That's right.
Okay. And is it just produce here in your roadside stand? What other things have you got?
Well, we've got produce, dairy products from Mapleview Dairy in Hillsboro. We have some pork products that we get from a distributor in Wilson, and then, of course, our garden center things are here, too.
Okay. So it really is a great variety that you're buying locally from other farmers, but that your customers can come in and get a bunch of different things.
They can.
And it's all local.
And it's all local.
And they know right where it's coming from.
That's right. They know their farmer, and that has to give them some comfort. And knowing that their food is locally produced, it's safe, it didn't travel across the country.
Right, so it's fresher.
It's fresher, it's more nutritious, and they've helped the environment.
And if you can't come to Smith's, well then, Smith's will come to you through their Doorstep Market. It's Smith's version of a CSA. Sarah explained how it works for her customers.
Each week they go online and they choose the items they want in their produce box, and we'll custom pack their box for them each week.
So that's a little different than, I've never heard of that type of program. I thought a CSA was you got a surprise box of whatever was being grown for the week.
There are different kinds of CSAs. Some of them you buy into the farmer's crop at the beginning, and you give him seed money,
right,
and you share the risk with him, and you get whatever he harvests.
Okay.
And if it's an abundance of squash, you get a good abundance of squash in your box.
Right.
With ours, we don't do the share risk thing. Our CSA box is going to be things that we grow on our farm will be included in the box, as well as other local farmers.
Okay, and so this is a sample box.
This is a sample box of what might be.
So those are farm-raised eggs right here in North Carolina.
These are our eggs. We have chickens, so we
different
have
colors.
Yeah, and there are lots of ladies around here that have chickens.
And they can get
have
baked
eggs.
goods.
That's right, pound cakes, new potatoes. When we picked these potatoes up, we went right to the field and they were digging them up, cleaning them off, and putting them in the box.
Put them right in the box.
That's how fresh they were. Fresh squash, and that would come from our farm, and we cut it this morning. Cucumbers. This is whipping cream from Mapleview Dairy. And when we actually pack the boxes, any cold products go in a cooler, so they're going to stay cold and fresh.
Okay, so it's fresh and it's customized to your order.
That's right.
I'm liking Doorstep Market.
Good. Thank you.
Between the roadside market and the doorstep market, Smith's is a very interactive operation when it comes to connecting the farmer with their customers. But maybe nowhere is that more in evidence than in the pick-your-own fields. At Smith's, that means blueberries and blackberries in early summer, along with pumpkins in the fall and strawberries in spring. Young and old, people come from all over to pick berries. There is just nothing like picking sun-warm berries straight from the bush. Just ask the squirrels, who like to dine in at Smith's. Sally's son Chris is in charge of the blueberries. Chris, this is just a beautiful patch of blueberries. Tell me about the varieties and what you grow here.
Well, we grow 2 different varieties. We have O'Neill, which is a high bush variety. And
Is that these?
That's these right here.
Okay.
They come off a little bit earlier. They start in late May, early June, kind of depending on the weather. And up here, up the hill, we have Premier, and that's a rabbit eye variety, which is probably about 3 weeks away right now, 2 or 3 weeks away. It's usually mid-June, mid to late June, depending on the weather when it starts.
Comes in. And when does the season end for your blueberries?
Usually about mid-July, mid to late, kind of depending on the weather again and how many pickers we have out here.
Okay, and so people can, it's just like strawberry picking. You get your bucket and you can come out here and just pick to your heart's content.
That's right. Pick and eat.
Pick and eat, pick and eat. Is there a ripe blueberry to pick? What's a ripe blueberry? What am I looking for when I'm going to pick a blueberry?
Well, you want something that's going to be blue all the way around. The bluer it is, the sweeter it is usually. So this one right here looks pretty good to me.
Oh, well, let me test that out. Just
Okay.
It is sweet and juicy. Okay, I'm seeing some of them are a lighter purple.
That's right.
Is it going to be a tartar blueberry?
If you picked it and ate it now, it would be tartar. Sometimes you'll have some red on the bottom, and they'll be blue on the top and look good and ripe, and they'll be red on the bottom, and they're a little bit tart, and those are actually the ones that I like the most.
Oh, okay. So if you want a little bit tartar blueberry, feel free to pick the ones that still are a little purple.
Absolutely.
Okay, soil condition. Is there a certain mixture you do for the soil to make sure you get the best blueberries?
Well, for a rabbit eye type up here, they're kind of native to this area. So we didn't have to do anything to the soil. You know, they love it here. They thrive in this conditions. This type, the high bush, this one's O'Neill, they do better in sandier soils on the coastal part of the state. So we had to amend our soils a little bit in order to accommodate them.
Okay, to get them to grow and to come in a little earlier for you and that sort of thing. Well, they look like they're thriving and doing fabulous.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Okay, well, if it's all right with you, I'm just going to kind of pick and eat and pick and eat.
Yeah.
And then you can show me the rest of the farm.
Yeah, sounds good.
Maybe the hardest part of picking berries is choosing what to do with them and having enough self-discipline to actually put them in the bucket instead of in your mouth. Blueberry muffins, blueberry pancakes, blueberry sauce, blueberry ice cream, so many possibilities. I've never seen such gorgeous blueberries. I've got my bucket full and I'm ready to head over and see my friend Denise at Cornerstone Tea so we can cook up some of her delicious blueberry recipes. She loves blueberries so much, she even makes tea with them. Come on! Okay, Denise, I'm excited because you're going to teach me how to cook blueberry scones.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
I've never made scones in my life.
Well, English biscuits get a bad rap, so scones are the
way to
proper
go.
way, and making it right is essential.
Okay, how do I do it?
Well, we start out with simple ingredients. We've got some all-purpose flour, 2 cups of it. We're going to add it into a food processor.
Okay.
It's my mainstay in a kitchen. Food processor, great. To that, we're just going to simply add our 1/4 cup of sugar.
Some sugar. All right.
We're going to add a tablespoonful of our baking powder.
Okay.
We're going to add a pinch of salt.
A little pinch of salt.
Perfect.
So far, I can do this.
Hey, you're right, it is simple. All right, and what we diced up was 6 tablespoons of butter. And don't cut corners here. No margarine.
No
You've
margarine,
got to have that
do the butter.
Yeah.
And does it need to be room temperature or cold?
Oh, ice cold.
Ice
It's cold.
cold.
Just bring it right out and dice it so
Okay.
it's ready to go. Okay, well, we're ready
Is that
to
it?
start rolling now. What we do is go ahead and lock on our lid for our food processor. Here we go. Just about there.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Click.
All right. When it starts rolling, and we're going to go ahead and measure out our 3/4 of a cup of our heavy whipping cream. No calories in this store, don't worry. But what you want to make sure that you're doing is using heavy whipping cream. Anything short of that, you're just not going to get that same product. What I'd do is probably, if you could put your hand here and pour it, or if that's better for you, that's fine.
Is that okay?
So let's let it roll for a minute or two, and then we'll
Okay.
start stirring. right about now we'll start seeing some little pellet type action starting.
I see
to
it's kind of balling up a little bit.
Right, and that's when we want to make sure we're going ahead and dropping our dried blueberries into there.
And can you get dried blueberries in the grocery store?
You can.
Okay, then
absolutely.
I can do this. All right, so just drop these
you're
in?
going to drop those in as we're running, and what you're going to see is it start to actually make a ball in there, and that's when you know to cut off your processor.
Okay.
So go ahead.
It did ball up.
It sure did, and that's your cue to stop the food processor.
Okay.
So at this point, you just take that lid off. Careful of your blade. Pull it all out. Yeah. And what I'll do is do this. We'll remove the blade, and you can
I can get the rest of it. Okay.
Okay, perfect. We'll just lay it right there.
Now, can mix this together at all?
Yeah,
or
a little
mush
bit.
it a little bit.
Just to mix those blueberries in a little bit.
Okay.
There you
it's
go.
a beautiful color.
Thanks.
And smells good too.
It does. It does.
Okay.
All right, we'll set it down there. There, we're looking for about a 6-inch hub. Perfect.
Is that good?
You've done this millions of
No, I've
times,
never
haven't
done
you?
this.
This is perfect. The only thing we do is just straighten this little guy out a little bit here, and that is wonderful.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it, and we refrigerate that for about an hour minimum is what we're shooting for, because we want it to really get cold. That's what helps bring that air and that layering into that scone. It makes it nice and airy and light.
Okay,
and
I'm
that's
gonna pop
the
it in the
secret.
fridge.
Perfect, sounds great. Okay, so it's been in the refrigerator an hour. We're just going to take it out. We're going to make sure it stays in the form it's in. Sprinkle it with a little sugar here.
Oh, okay. I like sugar.
It gives it a nice glisten when it's baked.
Is that
Perfect.
good?
Perfect.
Okay.
The knife, a trick is if you'll just run it into your canister of your flour, it'll
gives a
actually,
little
to
coating.
keep it from, and we're going to cut this like a pizza.
Okay.
And then straight across. There you go. Again, we'll get 16 slices out of this one. Now, if you're hungry doing a Sunday morning breakfast, you might want to make it stop it at 8. But at any rate, we'll get 16 slices.
I was gonna say,
we'll
you
just
might get
go ahead and-
16
Yeah,
out of it.
right. That's right. At this point, we just place it on the parchment paper on a baking sheet. You want to give them a little breathing room.
Okay.
Pop them in the oven at 400 degrees, convection oven if possible. 17 minutes, maybe 15.
Okay.
And that's it.
Let's pop them in.
Okay.
They look perfect, and I'm sure they'd be great with some coffee or tea.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Denise, I see fresh North Carolina blueberries on the table, and I love them. What are we going to make with those?
Let's make a lemon blueberry bread today.
That sounds good.
Great. If you'll combine some dry ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and combine some butter and sugar.
Okay.
Try to get that
Mixed together.
Mixed together. And if you'll go ahead after you get done with that and get our 2 eggs cracked.
Okay.
That'll be great. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of that lemon juice that we've got that's part of the recipe into that
Gotcha.
as
Get a little
well.
liquid going. All right, there's 1 egg.
Great.
And I'm guessing you do that one at the time in case you get a bad
Oh
egg.
yeah, absolutely. It's always a bad egg in the...
Oh, nice. That's smart.
Right. This is a really simple recipe as well. These fresh blueberries just are great to do. So once your dry ingredients are there, we can go ahead and get our zest.
Zest, little lemon peel. Okay.
And we'll do our nuts last and our blueberries last. But what I want you to do is go ahead and stream in your milk into this.
Okay. All at one time, or am I alternating?
No,
or?
you're okay with that.
Okay.
All right, so what I'd love for you to do is actually coat the blueberries into your flour mixture or
Okay,
your
and
dry
why am I
mixture.
doing that?
That's so those blueberries don't just sink to the bottom. They'll have a chance to float around in that beautiful bread there as it's baking, and
loving
that's
all
what
your
we
tips.
want. And the nuts then too, same way.
Okay.
So now we can switch up from this whisk that's done its duty.
Okay.
And we're ready to go ahead and fold that in, so go ahead. And you know, you can use a hand mixer for this. The reason I do this is because I just really want this bread to be nice and tender, so I try not to overwork that that flour.
I see what you're
So,
saying.
Just trying to
and
give
sometimes
it,
if you use a mixer, it might overbeat it.
we tend to sometimes, yeah. I like to just fold it in nice and soft, make sure we're all evenly moist.
Right. Gentle, so your blueberries don't pop.
Right, yep. And they are big, beautiful North Carolina blueberries, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're going to be sweet.
They are.
And then I see we've got a loaf pan. Have we coated this with anything?
I just sprayed it with some, nonstick spray.
Okay.
And that works fine. And then we're going to just pour this in. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's hope I don't make a mess.
Oh, no,
I think I can do it.
Sorry. Oh, wow. Look at those blueberries.
Oh, that lemon. I think it brings out the flavor of the blueberries,
I think
don't
so, too.
you?
Oh, absolutely. And the nuts are just going to be a great little surprise in there, too.
Little texture, little crunch.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
This is a great breakfast bread as well as any time during the day. So we're going to put this in for 60 minutes.
And it's going to be fabulous.
So 60 minutes in the oven. I let it cool about 15 just so I can handle it.
Okay.
Pop it on out of that pan.
Go ahead and get it out.
Yeah, put it
Okay.
on a nice plate. We're going to mix that warm lemon juice and some confectioner's sugar. Just whisk it in and get it really nice and ready to pour over. It'll drizzle over that loaf, and just look at these great little crispy edges here. And once we get ready to drizzle it over, it's
that good?
set and ready to slice. Just a little bit more. So perfect. Okay, great.
All right. And just
We'll
drizzle
drizzle it over. And you may not even have to use all of it. Okay. Oh, perfect. Wonderful, Lisa.
There you go.
Looks
Oh,
great.
that's beautiful.
Let's slice
Let's
it.
do.
Okay.
Denise, I love blueberry muffins.
Who doesn't?
And I hear you got a great recipe.
They sell great here at the tea shop. So
Okay.
yeah, and it's simple. So
All right.
let's get to it.
What's in here?
Dried ingredients: flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt. We're
Okay.
just going to give it a little pulse. All right. Now we're just going to go ahead and start adding in our other ingredients. I'll fold in the butter.
Okay.
If you want to crack a couple of eggs.
Yep. Add them in.
All right. We can go ahead and add those in.
There we go.
Great.
Okay.
We'll stream in the buttermilk.
So there's a lot of salts in there. All right, Denise, when do we add in the blueberries?
We're just gonna, right now, we're gonna go ahead and start folding in our batter into here. And I do this just again so that we can get those blueberries in there nicely and
So that they're still whole.
Yeah, and they're distributed nice. Yeah, they don't get pulsated to death. We don't want that. So go ahead and fold those in now.
Those are huge.
Isn't that beautiful? It was a great year with blueberries.
And I like the fact that you use buttermilk in the batter.
It's actually, it cuts down on calories. It's a diabetic trick.
Okay. All right, so is that good?
Yeah,
So
perfect.
we're putting in our muffin tin?
We're ready.
Okay.
Lisa, let's do mini muffins.
Oh, they're
They just
huge.
really do great in a tea shop.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Is that perfect?
It is. It
Okay.
is. It'll
What is this, a
puff over just
tablespoon?
little-
Yeah, a
It
little
is.
tablespoon.
It is a
That's
tablespoon.
perfect.
And if you spray it with a little nonstick first, it just pops right out
Slides right
nicely
out.
for you.
So, Denise, how long do you bake the mini muffins?
Only about 8 minutes.
So not long.
Not long at all. Keep your eye on them. Don't go out of the kitchen on this particular recipe.
Okay. All right, Denise, I'm done. Finishing up.
And Lisa, we could do these as regular size muffins. Just remember we cook them for up to 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Perfect.
So ready for the oven?
Ready for the oven.
Oh, Denise, they look so good. I'm gonna
Smell
try
good, too.
one because they smell good. Look at that. That's delicious. It's not too sweet. I mean, it's not overkill. Fabulous blueberry goodness.
North Carolina.
Blueberry season in North Carolina typically runs from roughly mid-May to mid-August, depending on where you are, but it's easy to enjoy them even in winter. That's because they're really easy to freeze. Just put the berries in a pan in a single layer and pop them in the freezer. Once frozen, simply bag them up and store them in the freezer until you're ready for a taste of summer, even if it's the dead of winter. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, fresh or frozen, it's always a great time to enjoy North Carolina blueberries from somewhere like Smith's Nursery. I'm Lisa Prince, and I'll see you next time right here in Flavor NC. To see today's recipes or for more information on local food and farmers markets in your area, visit flavornc.com.
Flavor NC was made possible by Got to Be NC Agriculture, the official state identity program for products grown and processed by farmers and value-added food companies in North Carolina. When you want the best, it's got to be NC. The Currituck County Department of Travel and Tourism. The Currituck County Outer Banks. More value, more excitement, more than you imagined. Additional support was provided by the following.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.